So as we discussed here, the based on how the load resistances are connected to each other, the DC circuits are classified into three types. One is a series DC circuit, other is a parallel DC circuit, and the third one is a series parallel DC circuit. Let's have a discussion of the series DC circuit. Consider these three resistances R1. When it is connected end to end, R2 and R3, it means that one end of R1 is connected to one end of R2 and other end of R2 when it is connected to that R3, so that there is only one path to the flow of electric current. Then this circuit, we call it a series DC circuit. Now, if you see that when these three resistors are connected end to end, now only two ends are remain and that open. What are these two, which are these two ends? Let me say that here. You can consider that this is a point A. Maybe this is not connected. You can consider that this is a point A and this is a point B. These 2 points are not connected anywhere. It means that when the resistor R1, one end of R1 is connected to R2, then one end of R2 is connected to that R3. Is it right? Now, if you see that when these three resistances are connected in this fashion, then the one end of R1, we call it A, and one end of R3, we call it B, are open. Then when these two ends are connected to that external DC source, now this is the external DC source is there, and when it is connected, then the circuit is closed, and then this circuit is called as series. Series stands for these resistance R1, R2, R3 are connected in series, and the DC circuit stands for as this series combination of these three resistors are connected to the DC energy source, so that this entire circuit is called as a series DC circuit. Are you clear my point? But the two things are mandatory to say about the series circuit. What are these two things? The first thing is that R1, R2, R3 are connected end to end. This is the first things. It means that if you consider here, this is a common end of R1 and R2. This is a common end of R1 and R2 and R3. Is it right? But the thing is that this is the first point. The point number one is what? The resistances are connected end to end. And the second point is that the common point of two resistances should not be connected to anywhere. Should not be connected to any another branch. Now see that here, R1 and R2, this is a common point, but this common point is, after that it is not connected to anywhere. This is the second point. Again, if you see that R2 and R3, this is a common point, and this common point is not connected to anywhere, so that there is only one path to the flow of electric current in that circuit. Then this circuit is called as a series DC circuit. बघा, मे बी आतापर्यंत तुम्ही सेरीज डीसी सर्किट बघितला असाल, परंतु आयडेंटिफिकेशन आणि त्याची मॅन्डेटरी कंडिशन, that thing is very important to understand. If you have that any doubt, please raise that doubt. Yes or no? Am I audible? Yes, hello? Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now see that the definition. As we know that the current is always starts its journey from positive terminal. Again, see that when the I current, it starts from positive terminal, it comes to that point A. When it comes to that point A, there is only one path to the flow towards that R1. And when I current, when it flows through a resistance of R1, according to that Ohm's law, when current is flowing through that resistor, definitely voltage is developed across that resistor is there. So the voltage across that resistor R1, we call it V1. Is it right? But if current is 0, is the voltage is developed across that resistor? Yes or no?
No.
Absolutely correct. Now, this current, when it flows through that R1, the V1 voltage is developed across that R1, and after that, the current, it comes to this common point of R1 and R2. Then there is only one part to the flow of current. Now current is flowing through that R2. So how much current is flowing through that R2 now? It's I ampere. Is it right? How much current it flows through that R1? It's I ampere. I have shown that current here. It means that the same current, it flows through all these three resistances. Then we say that there is only one part to the flow of current. Whatever the current, it will flow through that R1, same amount of current it will flow through that R2 also. And when the current, it flows through that R2, definitely voltage is developed across that R2. Let me consider that it's a V2. After flowing through that R2, current, it comes to this common point in between R2 and R3. Again, for that current, there is only one part to the flow of current, because we know that the basic property of a current always starts its journey from positive terminal and return at the negative terminal. So that current always having the tendency to come towards the negative terminal of a battery. So when the current, it flows through that R2, it also flows same amount of current, it flows through that R3 also. And when current, it flows through that R3, definitely the voltage is developed across that R3, and then it comes to that point B, and it will return towards the negative terminal of a battery. Are you clear how the series circuit it will works actually? Yes or no? Now see that the definition. The definition is like that: the DC circuits in which resistances are connected end to end, so that there is only one path for current to flow, is called a series DC circuit. Is called a series DC circuit. Now, if you see that here, the three resistances we consider, which are connected in a series, and then this series combination is connected across a battery of V volt, so that I ampere of current it flows, and due to that I ampere of current, the voltage across that R1 is V1, voltage across R2 is V2, voltage across R3 is V3. But may I ask the question, what is the total voltage in between A and B point?
V1 plus V2 plus V3.
It means that, can I say that it is the applied voltage? Because the applied voltage we have connected in between the point A and B. It means that the total voltage is always available across means in between point A and B. The total voltage is always appear across A and B, but this total voltage is divided in these three resistances, so that the summation of V1 plus V2 plus V3 is always equal to the applied voltage is that. This is the thing is that. Now, my discussion is over, but now I will ask that one simple question. Can you pick up the main characteristics of series circuit? One by one. There are so many characteristics are there. Can you give me that one by one? main characteristics of series DC circuit through this discussion. Yes, please. Don't waste the time. One by one. If it is wrong, then definitely I am here to correct you. But you please take that initiative.
Resistors are connected end to end.
Absolutely correct. This is the first main characteristics. The resistances are connected end to end. Anybody else?
There is only one path for flow of current.
Absolutely correct. Only one path to the flow of current. Anybody else? I have already discussed, if you carefully listen, the each and every statement, all the characteristics I have discussed in the discussion is there. Only two characteristics I got it from your side. Let me put that third one characteristics. Current flowing through each series resistances is the same. Is it right? Same
Yes.
current it flows through it.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
right? Now the fourth characteristics is applied voltage is always equal to sum of
Individual
voltage
voltage.
across individual resistances. Once again, I will repeat. Applied voltage is always equal to sum of voltage drop across individual resistances. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's go to the next slide. Okay, all of you, please. Again, we will add that the main characteristic. Huh? Now, if you see that the diagram once again here. So from that above diagram, that one thing it is clear, the current, there is only one path to the flow of current. Is it right? Now, when we apply the Ohm's law to the each resistor, when we apply the Ohm's law to each resistor, so can we write that equation like that? V1 means what? It is the voltage across resistor R1. And when I want to calculate that voltage across that resistor R1, I must know that the current flowing through that R1 and the resistance of that R1. By applying Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. Is it right? Because here, not a single resistance is present. Now, three resistances are present here. So, definitely the single or the total voltage will not appear across any one of that resistor. Let me clear these things. Otherwise, somebody might be saying like that, why not, sir, you write that formula V is equal to I into R. But here, this is the total voltage, this is the total current, but here the resistance is not single. There are total three resistances are there. Is it right? That's why I say that the voltage across that resistor R1, we can calculate when we know that the current flowing through that R1 and the resistance of that R1. That's why we can apply, as we know that the current is same for all three resistances. That's why I have not written here I1, I2 and I3. Is it right? So I can write V1 is equal to I into R1. Current flowing through that R1 is I and the resistance of that R1 is R1. Similarly, V2 I can write it down I into R2 and V3 is equal to I into R3 is there. Up to this, any problem? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Then let me go to that the next slide. See that again, once again, this diagram, as we know that the total voltage is always equal to, this is the one of the main characteristics, total voltage is always equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. But we have already calculated that value V1, V2, V3. Let me try to put that value, which is nothing but IR1, IR2 and IR3. Now I is common for all the resistances. So let me take that I at outside. So in a bracket, what is remain? R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now when I transfer this I to the left hand side, it should be divided to voltage. So this V is nothing but what? It's a total voltage. I means is nothing but what? It's a total current, which is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. But if you see that the ratio at the left hand side, the ratio at the left hand side of this equation indicates that the total voltage divided by total current. Now the total voltage divided by total current is equal to what?
Total resistance.
Absolutely correct. So this R1 plus R2 plus R3 is the total resistance of this circuit. So where V divided by I is the total resistance of the circuit, and the total resistance of a series DC circuit, it can be denoted by R to the base equivalent resistance we can call it, or we can call it a total resistance, or we can call it a series resistance. Are you clear my point? So three names are there: equivalent resistance, total resistance, or the series resistance. So the V divided by I, which is equal to total resistance, is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is the another one main characteristic of a series circuit. So what is the characteristics? The total resistance of series circuit is sum of individual resistances in that circuit. Are you clear my point? This is the another one characteristic is there. Now, if you see that the characteristics of the series circuit, then definitely you will get it. Number one, what is that characteristics? Current in each resistor is the same. Because in the definition itself, we say that there is only one path to the flow of current. So that the same current, same amount of current will flow through all the series resistances. This is the first main characteristic. Number two, total resistance of the circuit. Right now we say, we discuss these things. Total resistance, it can be denoted by R equivalent, R total, or RS series resistance of the circuit is equal to sum of individual resistance, plus internal resistance of the cell, means energy source if any. It means that here we have considered these three resistances are in series. That's why our formula for total resistance is R1 plus R2 plus R3. But if you see that, what is this? This is the energy source. This is also one electrical element, and every electrical element has its own internal resistance. If it has its internal resistance, जर आपण त्याचा इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स जर कन्सिडर करायचा असेल तर आपल्याला त्याचा इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स सुद्धा आपल्याला ऍड करून घ्यावा लागेल. ठीक आहे. सो इट मीन्स दॅट आय नीड टू राईट the total resistance of the circuit. It should be R internal, R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R internal is there. But if the internal resistance we know, that time we can add it. That's why here the second characteristics is written: total resistance of the circuit is equal to sum of individual resistance plus internal resistance of the cell if any. जर त्याचा काही स्वतःचा इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स असेल तर तो पण आपल्याला त्याच्यामध्ये ऍड करावा लागेल. जर तो आपल्याला माहित नसेल किंवा दिलेला नसेल, सो नॉट नेसेसरी टू राइट इट डाउन, नॉट नेसेसरी टू ऍड इट. But the thing is that the total resistance is always equal to sum of individual resistances. This is the second property. Then third one, voltage drop across any resistor is directly proportional to the resistance of that resistor. आता आपल्याला माहित आहे, let me try to write it down here. V1 is equal to I into R1. Let me consider that one example. But we know that this I for all resistances is same. Is it right? This I for all resistances is same. If it is same, can I say that V1 is directly proportional to R1? And this is the third property is here. The voltage drop across any resistor is directly proportional to the resistance of that resistor. V1 is the voltage drop across that R1, and that R1 is the resistance of that resistor is there. So this is the third property is there. Are you clear about it? Okay. Then fourth one resistor is the total resistance of the circuit is always more than the largest resistance in that circuit. Read it once again. The total resistance of the circuit is always more than the largest resistance in that circuit. Now, how I can give the proof for it? Suppose, just consider that, let me take that one pointer. Just assume that R1 is equal to 2 ohm, R2 is equal to 3 ohm, and R3 is equal to 4 ohm. These three resistors are connected in series. How you can calculate the total resistance?
R1 plus R2 plus R3.
Correct. So total resistance you can calculate 2 plus 3 plus 4, 7 plus 2, it's a 9 ohm. Is it right? Now, out of these three resistor, which resistor is having the greater value?
R3.
R3. And now, if you say that, if you consider that the total resistance, so can I say that this 9 ohm is greater than this 4 ohm?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are doing that addition here, so that the main characteristics is given here. The total resistance means this RT of the circuit is always more than, means is always more than largest resistance in that circuit, and the largest resistor here is a 4 ohm. Are you clear that point? अशी कधीतरी केस येऊ शकते का की टोटल रेजिस्टन्स इज लेस दॅन द लार्जेस्ट रेजिस्टन्स इन द सर्किट?
No, sir.
Absolutely no, because here we are doing that addition. Is it right? And if we are doing that addition of all individual resistances, it means that this characteristics is always valid. Total resistance is always greater than the largest resistance present in the circuit is that. Means you have to take care about it in the series circuit. When you will calculate the total resistance of any series circuit, you have to cross verify that this total resistance must be greater than the largest resistance present in that circuit. This is the simple rule, is that simple idea is that. It's clear? And the last one main characteristics is the applied voltage instead V is equal to sum of voltage drop across each resistances, or you can call it say individual resistances. That is nothing but V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So this is about the series DC circuit. If you have that doubt, I will give the time, or if you don't have the doubt, I will give the time of 1 minute to read all these 5 main characteristics once again very carefully. So I have noted down that absent roll number. Have you read it? If your reading is over, give me that one response. Any students can give me that response so that I can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me go to that next point. It's application of series DC circuit. Is it right? Now, or better way, that application I will discuss in the next lecture is there, because it will require the time is there. Is it right? So today we will stop here, and in the next lecture definitely we will discuss that the application of series DC circuit, as well as we will discuss that the parallel DC circuit is there. But let me clear that the one point, the series and parallel, these two concepts are very, very important for any branch of students. You may be from mechanical, you may be from civil, you may be from computer, and it is also helpful for that electronics and electrical branches there. You get it, my point? So that, and I know that it's my experience from last 12 years, I know that the students are always facing the problem in the identification of series and the parallel DC circuit. Right now, you might be thinking like that, what is difficulty in that? But when we try to solve that the numerical on the series and parallel circuit, that time the students are confused. But let me clear that if you will not miss any single lecture, any single point, definitely you will never be confused. It's my guarantee. Get it, my point? So whatever the points are covered in the session, your duty is that to clear all the points in that day itself. And if you have that any doubt related to the point discussed in the lecture, definitely in the next lecture you must come up with that point is there. Is it right? So with this, let me conclude the today's session is there.